Hey everyone, how's everyone going? I hope everyone's going well today. Today we're going to be talking about the ILV price. I'm not really going to delve too deep into sIlv today, as I made that warning video the other day. We're going to discuss ILV, Ethereum and Bitcoin and kind of how the markets are looking. I want to take a bit more of a methodical approach this time, and I hope you guys enjoy. As always, welcome back. I'm Scoriox, where I do the maths and you do the degen. To get that sweet plushie, please leave a comment down below on which plushie you might want to buy. I would definitely get a dunce pass. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, and always do your own research. As always, please like and subscribe down below. It helps me so much with the channel growing, getting all different information, spending even more time on videos. I appreciate every single bit of everything you guys do for me. And I really do hope this video is really helpful. I just want to chat through some things because I know a lot of people have been sending messages in the Discord discussing how should they buy ILV, should they wait, is it going to go lower, is everything going to crash? Quite frankly, none of us really know what's going to happen, but I have a few YouTube things I've been watching. It's doing a little bit of my own technical analysis, and I have a few theories of my own, not necessarily predictions for the future. And if you guys want to see an ILV price prediction video, please leave a comment down below. If I can get like, I don't know, let's say 20 comments to say you want a prediction video. I don't really like doing it because there's so many factors, but if you want like a proper prediction video where I use the technical analysis, just please let me know. Okay, let's jump into it. So first we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart, okay? So let's just chat about this in terms of general market structure. As we all know, all the cryptocurrency, especially the microcaps, follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls 10%, microcaps fall 50%. Like they follow, but far more dramatically because they're much smaller. So it takes a lot less to move their price. All right. So this is just the one main thing I've been focusing on at the moment. I haven't really been looking at a lot else. And for all these charts, I will start at the daily and I will descend down to try and figure out what sort of trend we're in different scales. The big thing I will look at is if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Now, Bitcoin is an interesting one. Technically, on the daily, we just made a lower low, okay? So an uptrend is when you're making higher highs, okay? I mean, higher lows and higher highs. All right, back to basics a little bit. So a downtrend is when you're making lower lows, like this technically is. It varies on exchanges, mind you, but I use Binance for most of my things. And lower highs. So we didn't really have a lower high, so this downtrend isn't confirmed unless price comes up, makes a lower high, and then descends back down. And then we're in an official daily downtrend for Bitcoin. So that's definitely the first thing anyone should be keeping an eye on. But I have a few ideas about what could happen next, okay? So the thing with this pattern right here is we have already seen this play out. This has already happened identically. Look over here. Back in May, we had that giant dump. I believe the decline was 40% from that high, 50%. It's a pretty big dump. At the moment, this dump wasn't quite as bad, I don't think, but it was still pretty bad. 40%. So not quite as bad. Okay, so we had a similar large crash. Let's say crash lightly in the market. But now here's a really interesting thing, and I got a lot of this information from market makers. I'll leave their channel down in the description below. They've been doing a lot of Wyckoff analysis lately, and they do a lot of other pattern trading and things as well. But I think Wyckoff really explained what happened here, and it's repeating very, very closely. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So just in here, I have something called the bars pattern. I haven't used this many times, so do forgive me, but basically this will take like a little ghost image and I'll just do it to this candle that indicates the return of the bull market, okay, at this time. And all it does is it gives me a ghost of these candles. That's really cool, right? That's the first major drop, and that's the second one. Okay. Now, I know it's a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to line that up. So what I took it from was the candle right before the big candle, okay? In this case, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up with the candle right before the really large one, and I'm going to line up the top of it with the previous high. Now, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but at the ultimate low for this forecast, for this, I don't know if it's technically a fractal, but for this prediction, for this looking back in the past, it has pretty much touched to the dollar down at the bottom here, comparatively to the previous time, okay? Touch to the dollar up there and to the dollar down there. It's pretty much the same thing, and you can notice the pattern does the same thing. It starts off in a massive downtrend, okay? Like a decent downtrend for about a week and a half maybe, and then it pumps up and it retests this high. Again, all of this is from market makers. Definitely should check them out. They do a much better job at explaining this. But straight after this, I'll go into the ILV price. But it's important to understand where the overall market is heading before you make any decisions on anything. Always in crypto, especially with micro caps. And I would still consider ILV a micro cap for now. Okay, and then it descends down and it kind of retests this zone. But what this was a giant bear trap. This candle here liquidated so many futures contracts. That's pretty much what I think the purpose of that whole candle was. Okay, so you'll notice it has a downtrend, pumps up out of the trend, okay, hits this top here, like we showed just a second ago, this top here, and then comes back down. And once it retests this final zone, it never goes this low again. So we have no real confirmation that this is the final zone. And I'm definitely not saying start trading or whatever. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. But just worth looking at this information. And if you see us start really going up and getting a lot of volume coming to the market, you know that this could be really good. But you also have to be careful of this. It comes up and then falls back down. And what I believe this is another bear trap. It's coming up, telling everyone, oh, we're going to go up, we're going to go to the moon. And then all of a sudden, it weakens and people get bored in the market and then it pumps out. And what happens with this sort of accumulation cycle in Wyckoff is you head right up here and then people are like, oh crap, we should have bought. And they FOMO in right here. Then they dump on them a little bit, try and liquidate all those longs that are entering late. And then we continue upwards. Okay. So this is the overall market sentiment. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. This is pretty much all I'm watching at the moment in terms of Bitcoin and overall market. We can go into some of the lower time frames, but they're all pretty bearish. Lower low, lower highs, technical downtrend on the 1 hour chart. Again, lower lows, lower highs, a pretty major downtrend on this one. So it's coming down on all the smaller time frames. And it's basically a downtrend on the daily, on the larger time frames. However, on the weekly, we've made a higher high. Okay, as you can see here, a higher high and a higher low. And this should really count as one because there's not many candles printed. But if you go a lot lower than this section here, then you're in a weekly downtrend. And that could be really, really bad overall. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at Ethereum. Now I have another thing I really want to look at. Okay. So this is the Ethereum during the 2017 bull run. Now, why am I looking at this? I've been watching a lot of Raoul Pal lately. All right. I really like Raoul Pal. I think he has some really interesting insights and ways of talking about the markets and how everything moves. And he makes a big correlation that I often like to look back at. He says that Solana, as we all know, it pumped a few months ago. Solana looks just like the Ethereum 2017 bull run. All right. It looks identical. But you'll find that when you go throughout the crypto markets, this happens a lot. They start tracking to other coins in previous cycles, previous bull runs, previous bear markets. They look identical to things historically in the crypto markets. And that's why I want to look at this chart. Historically, a lot of the alts do look kind of like Ethereum. Ethereum isn't really an altcoin anymore. It's its own thing. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. That's how I view it anyways, okay? But you'll notice that Ethereum came, so this is the 200 moving average. It's just the daily average line for all the price action, okay? The 200 moving average, it came down to it after it pumped up like crazy 2017, came up, it came down to it, tested it again, and until the bull run ended, it never broke below it. And it has in this one just now, so we'll see what happens there, but it never broke below it. It's quite an interesting thing to look at. It also used the 50 moving average as support quite often as well. When it was on its major legs, it came down and touched it a lot. I'm not sure what all that's about, so I'm not going to focus on it too much. But here's something, I know everyone's worried about the ILV price, but here's something I want to show you guys. This is ILV with a 200 daily moving average, the same moving average. I couldn't figure out how to close all these other windows, so this is kind of what we're stuck with for now. But that's the 200 daily moving average there, the green line. It's still all the way at $685. Okay, so if you were going to set orders, I'd definitely consider setting some orders there if you were going to set them anywhere. But at this stage, personally, I am buying ILV every week, all right, just as consistently as I can. I personally think we could go down a bit further before doing anything. So if you're going to invest, if you're scared it's going to go up, maybe put in 10-15%, 10-15% next week, 30% if it drops heaps, then you're like, oh, okay, good opportunity, buy. All right, just never invest everything in one go, and you should have a much better time in cryptocurrency. Okay, that is the only advice I'm going to give you. And it is not financial, to be clear. Okay, so we haven't touched the 200 moving average yet. Now, how else do I try and find where I might set orders? Now, I was supposed to add this indicator on before, but I did not. But let's add the volume profile, okay? Which is not appearing because we don't have enough bars. All right, let's look at it at the 4 hour. That didn't help at all. Maybe I can add it on here. Sorry about this. I like using a lot of this stuff on the higher time frames. Just profile. Volume. Oh, it's not giving me anything. That is really sad. Okay. We're going to have to look at the 4 hour one. This is kind of what I was focusing a lot of my hopes at about 1150 on, is the volume profile indicator. Now, if you had a daily one, we don't have enough daily bars for this one, but maybe if I change this, I can get something. Number of bars, let's say 100. No. Bar length multiplier, bar horizontal. Nope, I don't know how to get it. I'm really sorry about that, but we do not have enough bars for that. Oh, actually, ILV Ethereum. Let's see, that has a volume profile. Bump that back up to 500. Now I know exactly what that means. You'll see that all the volume is so low down. So we could come down and retest this a little bit, but this is the ILV Ethereum pair. Okay. I personally really love this chart more than the USD pair because I think it represents Illuvium a lot better. But I don't want to go too long on this. So let me just say that if you start coming down to the 0.15 area, I will probably take all my crypto out of everything else I own and put it straight into ILV. That's where I would be hard buying. All right. Personally, not financial advice. Now, the other thing we want to look at is the other time frames. So on the daily, we're in a very similar spot to Bitcoin, entering a downtrend, but not quite there. Although you could maybe consider this a lower high, I wouldn't really go that far. On the 4 hourly chart, definitely in a downtrend. And on the 1 hour, also a downtrend. So if you want to start buying and you're waiting to be in a confirmed uptrend or a confirmed reversal or whatever, I would go to the 4 hour chart and I would monitor this. And if we can make a higher low and a higher high, I would start looking at going into it. Another thing you can note here is that the 50 moving average is consistently rejecting the price action. So if we can break through that moving average, we will have to test the 200 and we might initially fail. But if we can break that moving average, that would be a really good way to start looking for an entry if you're very hesitant. So always be patient, take your time. This thing isn't going to shoot up in one day. There's definitely time, okay? And definitely stay tuned for my Twitter and my YouTube, and I'll try and make community posts and things if I see anything interesting relating to what I've just said in this video, all right? Okay, just a quick shout out for myself because I'm super excited to show people this, all right? But I made a thing. I made my first t-shirt. It's on like a Streamlabs merch store. I've ordered it myself. It hasn't arrived yet. I definitely don't expect anyone to buy any or anything like that. But I was super excited to make something, so I spent a couple hours making this graphic. It's just Wenland. As you can see there, I'm pretty happy with it. I really like how it turned out. I can't wait to get the shirt arrive and see how it looks. I'll definitely show you guys as soon as it's here. I'm definitely eager to make more things, so shoot me a DM on Discord, send me a message on Twitter, comment, whatever, if there's anything in particular you want me to make. Obviously, legally, it's very complicated, but I'm obviously going to steer clear of the Illuvium logo and name, and any of their alluvials and things as much as I can. I might make a stylized version of something, but I'm going to steer away from their property as much as I can because I want to be my own brand and my own person. And as a creative, I understand the difficulties of copyright and things like that in the industry. So the last thing I want to do is deal with that. No one owns Wenland, not that I know of. If anyone knows, if someone owns it, let me know, I guess. But free property for me. I thought it was fun to make. I have a few other ideas already kicking around and I can't wait to make them. So if you like this stuff, let me know. All right, let's go to the outro. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you'll watch that next video up in the top right hand corner, or don't, but I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one.